Medicinal food, ancient plant knowledge, health and wellness technology, the ancient future of food, the ancient future of food, Ayurvedic, Amazonian, Chinese herbal wisdom, superfoods, tonic, medicinal mushrooms, the ancient future of food.
Aloha Medicinal Foods family. I'm Sky Cubby, founder of Medicinal Foods, here today to talk to you about food combining. This is a subject that is dear to my heart and has been a total game changer in my life for my health and wellness. I'm surprised how few people know about food combining technique, but I'm going to give you some rules of food combining. You can take some of them to heart. Maybe you want to feel lighter and healthier, have better digestion. Maybe you just don't want to feel so bloated at the end of a meal. But some of these things can help you. I'm not going to say you got to do them all. You know, the Dalai Lama said, know the rules so you know how to break them properly. And I'm going to kind of give you some of those tips and tricks. But this is something that can help everybody. And I don't like to be dogmatic about anything. Some people have a better ability to digest food. Some of us were blessed with better digestive agni or fire. We're going to talk about a food combining pyramid of the ideal foods to combine, why they're good combinations, and how you can definitely tell you're having some bad combinations, what to avoid. If you're looking at this on YouTube, then take a look at the link below and follow along, or look afterwards. Check out my blog where we have these food combining charts. And if you're in my blog, you just look below and you can see all the ideal combinations. But I'm going to get right into it. And I can tell you that when I was sick and had asthma and systemic candida, lung infections, and all that, I felt like I was in the emergency room every other month. This was about 20 years ago, but I met with a nutritionalist, Dr. Carl Palmy, in North Lake Tahoe. And if you're out there, Carl, you were one of my first mentors who definitely helped transform my health. And what Carl did, he was a iridologist, so he could look in my eye and see exactly where my which organs were compromised. And when I first walked in there, he could tell me what I had eaten, literally what I had eaten that day and the day before, because he could smell my breath from across the room. I had halitosis. You know, it's kind of embarrassing, but maybe if you pay attention to some of these techniques, it could help you avoid an embarrassing moment. Possibly, you know, since this is coming to you just before the holidays, maybe when you're with some friends and family, you know, the most obnoxious thing, I think, being out there in the wellness world, you know, when someone comes up to me and we're talking about health and they just reek their breath. Yeah, he could tell what I had eaten. And what he'd put me on was a 3-day program where I map out exactly everything I ate. And I half-heartedly wrote down, you know, I had this oatmeal cookie, and which I found out later was major food combining, but not as major as you can get. And he had me write everything down, and I thought, I eat at the health food store, you know, I got this one in the bag, you know, he's not going to find anything bad that I'm eating. I even tried to eat healthier, and still I was surprised what I learned. So what I want you to do is just visualize a pyramid, a food pyramid where you've got your nice, healthy for you green veggies at the top, and non-starchy veggie like leafy greens, salads, chard, things like that, celery. And then on this side, you've got your starches. On this side, you've got your proteins. You could put sugars down at the bottom. The starches and the proteins, each of them individually, combine great with the veggies at the top, the non-starchy green vegetables. You can ideally have 80% green vegetables with 20% of your heavy proteins, like say meat or tofu. Then if you have another meal you have 80% veggie salad stir fry with 20% of your heavy starches. So, I like to plan my meals out. It takes a little while getting used to, but the reason we do this is because starch and sugar ferments. It's like making beer or wine. It ferments and creates fermentation, which is gas. Then you take your starches and combine them with protein, and they will putrefy to make stinky gas. And it's this rotting protein can actually build up along your colon walls, and there's these pockets where it can just kind of sit in there and rot. So just practicing these food combining techniques, you'll see you can drop, couple, 2, 3, 4 pounds, depending on how blocked up you are, because you're going to be getting out a lot of undigested material, especially if you combine it with some colon cleansing. And I've got some other links below to our cacao revitalizing cleanse that can help move out a lot of that undigested material. But just doing this is going to lighten your load. You save your starches and your proteins. You don't combine them together. You save them for your to eat with your green veggies. Now, I said, learn the rules so you can learn how to break them properly. Well, I kind of plan out my day and say, okay, I'm going to have, I usually start with fruit, maybe a papaya or, some apple or something like that after I have my morning smoothie with cacao elixir or coffee break or something like that. But then around 11 o'clock or so, or even sometimes as late as 1, I feel like grounding out with maybe a big salad with some fish on it or something, with some sauerkraut to help digest that. And then save my starches for later on. I'll think, okay, I'll have some rice and a big salad, or maybe some steamed greens and vegetables and rice. But once you start thinking about, I'm going to have am I going to have a starch meal or am I going to have a protein meal? That's what I think when I go up to eat out at a restaurant or something like that. And of course, this is coming to you before the holidays. So why do we do these kind of things and be healthy? It's so that when it comes times like the holidays, maybe you can lighten up a little bit and, enjoy all the food with your family. So I'm not going to say this is, there's one right way to do it. Everybody's different. But I'm telling you, if you're having a chronic condition, if you're sick like I was and trying to figure out how to get out of that hole, for one thing, you can focus on the hardest thing our body has to do, which is digest food. So, you cram everything in there like a garbage disposal and expect it to do its thing. Well, why do we have problems eating starches and proteins together? Well, because they digest in different parts of the body. So starches begin digesting in the mouth. That's why you chew to get that enzymes in your mouth and the amylase starting to be produced to break down the starches. You chew as much as you can. Mahatma Gandhi said, chew your drink and drink your food. So if you're having a smoothie, don't just swallow it all, but chew it, get your enzymes mixed in there, make it lighter and everything, and then swallow it. But if, like this morning, I had some oats, and if I just ate those oats and didn't chew them, they wouldn't start digesting until the intestines. So your stomach acids are there to digest the protein. If I went ahead and had eggs and oats, then they would have gone down together, especially if I didn't chew them, and the stomach can't digest the oats. So what it's going to do with it all mixed together, it's going to pull a lot of the egg without it being able to be digested down into my intestines, where then the egg's not going to digest, but we'll start working on the starch. So you can see, to make it easy on yourself, first chew your food as well as possible, swallow it as if it's a liquid, and then just separate out the starches and proteins. So I hope that helps. And if you want some more clarity, look below. But I can give you some, I said, know the rules so you know how to break them. So I promised I'd do that. Here is a rule breaker. This allows me to break the rule a lot of times. This is living greens with 10 veggies, 4 grasses, fermented. And these enzymes in here, there's enzymes and probiotics, and it literally can help you break down your food. I mean, what we do is we take organic veggies from as local as possible and bring them to a central place and ferment these in a vat, stainless steel vats. And basically, the byproduct of the fermentation is these probiotics and the enzymes. So this morning on my oats, I put a sprinkle of this living greens on there, and I got a phone call. When I came back to my oats, instead of being sticky and gloopy, they were like water because the enzymes helped digest and break down the starch in here before I even started eating them. So if I'm feeling heavy after a meal, maybe it was a real fatty meal or something, I'm going to go ahead and take some living greens. I noticed my daughter, even after a big meal, she'll go, "Ooh, can I have some?" And she just takes the scoop right out and puts it right in her mouth. And it's something that you mix. Normally you take the scooper and you mix a scoop into water and just drink it down. Maybe a twist of lime makes it really good. But you don't do, my daughter does a whole scoop of this stuff. But, I take about that much and just, I kind of want some right now. It's kind of zingy and it's sweet. It's a green drink that actually tastes good. So thanks for letting me plug my product here. And there's some milk thistle in here for your liver, some cinnamon to help with that digestive fire. My astrology, which I'm a triple Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. Cancer is ruled by what? The stomach. So that's probably why I'm here talking to you today, because that's my Achilles heel, my digestion. But for everyone, the key to prevention is healthy digestion. So, this is something that, like I said, is dear to my heart because when I'm on it with my digestion, I'm not getting sick. When I start to kind of feel bloated and, start to food combine a lot, that's when I'm more susceptible to getting sick. So you'll find the link to the living greens below. And I'll also tell you, when you're there, look at the video from Kia Miller, amazing Kundalini yoga instructor. She's a big fan of medicinal foods. She said,
every now and again, something comes across your path in life that gives you the boost that you need. So I just had an experience with this product in the last 6 months where I've been dosing pretty highly on it, 3 scoops 3 times a day. And my energy has just flourished. I feel really strong, and I feel like I have the stamina that I haven't had for a long time. It's giving me like a new lease on life.
I hope you have a happy holidays and or whenever you're seeing this. And I'm really thankful that if you got this far, you're able to hopefully get some tools to help you with your digestion. So aloha from Hawaii and have a beautiful day.